It's a pleasure having all of you here. So, this is a live workshop that we'll be doing. I won't be doing much talking, right? I'll just go straight to the point so that you all can have value for your time. So, I plan to use approximately 1 hour to um, coordinate this. Um, so, going right into it, you all know what a website is, right? You have the internet, you go to websites every day, and there is a very real benefit of having your own personal website, especially for professionals. You know, if you do freelancing job, if you are a student, if you are a lecturer, if you bake, if you cook, if you have a business, if you're an entrepreneurial, you need something to put your name out there. Some of these social media platforms have helped us, and sometimes it's not just enough. People need to see credibility from your business or from your professional journey. So that's why it's very beneficial to have a website. Now, for example, um, let's search for my name online, just Adegoke, and you would see my website coming up at the top right here. So, and I'm the one that wrote this thing. So anyone that is looking for me can see what I put out there for them to see. So you can also see other things, but even you can see the websites coming multiple times. And whenever um, AI tools are scraping for your information, maybe you need something for yourself, you can put something accurate out there that they can easily access. So, how do we want to get this done? We want to use Google Sites. So, Google Sites is a platform created by Google for people to easily create websites on their own. Um, if you just go to sites.google.com, then log in, all you need is your Gmail account, and from there you'll be able to access this site. You are not paying anything, there's no subscription, and you can get your site published immediately. So there's no, you don't have to wait for anything. Then you can also buy a domain name. So, like we saw on my website, it is my own name, opadegoke.com. Right now, if you want to do that for yourself, then you have to pay a certain amount, but that is also a small fee. Um, so, so on Cloudflare, I paid like $10 for a year, right? And that is a very small amount to pay for 1 year of your domain name. There are other type of extensions that you can use, like .org, .net, and all of that, but they have different prices, and you can see the one that you want and is a good fit for what you want it to do. So this is not just for students, this is not just for um, entrepreneurs. Anything you are doing that you feel you want to put out there, it can be your business name, it can be whatever you want. And this is a good platform that you can leverage. And it is very easy to do. It takes a couple of hours and your website is set up. So let's get into it. When you get to Google Sites, if you have it open, you can choose a blank site or check the template gallery. Let me just put the full screen. Yeah, so you can check the template gallery so you can see that there are different templates that are available for you to use. There is a template for restaurants that you can check. You can change the pictures, change the words, You see, there are different pages you can contact, chef, menu, different things like this. You can link payment links where people can click and they'll go to where they will pay for your services. So you can utilize this to give your business ease, give yourself ease. If you need people to contact you, like for me now, in my website, this is my own website. I have my about section, okay, home section, about. This is me. I, I wrote all of this, education. This is pretty much written by yourself. You design it yourself, however you want it to be. Projects, research, presentations, whatever you want people to know about you, awards, contacts. These contacts, you can put links to your LinkedIn, your email. You can put Google Forms, you can put Microsoft Forms. This. So I attach a link to a Microsoft form. So if I click on this, it takes me to a Microsoft form where people can, fill out forms for if they want to do a project with me. So, like I said, it's a very good way of putting yourself out there. And I feel it is not something hard. So why not? Why don't you have something like that for yourself, right? It's not something so difficult, so out of reach. And once you do that, when people search for your business, they won't just see random people, they would see your names, they will see your pictures. So if you go to images, you would see my pictures from my website, okay, some from other sources, but you know, it brings a lot of information into one place. And I feel that is something we should all have at hand. So going back to creating one, let's use a blank template, but you can use any template that you want. Now, this is the front page. Um, you can put a title to this. So what I'll be doing is I would replicate my website and put different things for you to see how it can be done so that you can do something similar for yourself. Um, I think Henry did something similar for his own self. So if you look for Henry Markinde, you would see his own website too. Um, I can't see Henry's website. Okay, let's just go straight to his website. Wow. Okay. Or did Henry decommission his website? Henry, please let us know. So you can see something similar for Henry, and you don't need to use the same colors. There are a range of colors, there are a range of formats. So I'm showing you this to let you know that you can do the same thing in different ways. You can put pictures, you can put all these slides, you can segment it in different ways, you can put sections, you know. So there are different ways of getting things done. You don't have to use one way, you don't have to use one format, right? But I'll just be showing you how I did mine. And you can see a little touch of my hand in this. So, but Henry didn't pay for it. I don't know why I helped. But he did it on his own. Let me not take the credit. He did it on his own. I just added a little touch. Okay, so let's go to um, Google site. I'll be replicating my website. So what's the first thing I have in my site? I have this logo. Now, this logo, you don't need a logo. I mean, if you have a logo, you can put it. But if you don't have a logo, it's fine. You can just type something You can just say, let me type my name, Hope Oluwaseun Adegoke. So you have full control on the fonts. Let's say we are using impact, the font size. You have total control. You can make it bold, italic. You can centralize it, the alignment. You can put it left, right, center, justified, and all of that. So those are things you can do. Now, this header, there are three different types. Is it three or four? Okay, four. So there's this very big one. So depending on what you want to achieve, you can use large banner, you can use banner, you can use title only if that is what you feel like doing. You can change the text color, right, to whatever you are feeling like using. So those are changes you can do. Then if you are using a banner, maybe a large banner or something, let's use this banner. Let me use a lighter color so that we can see. So now you also need to be mindful of the colors you use. Let's not do color riots. Be mindful of the combination you are using so that people won't have displeasure when they view your website. Some people can be very critical. Now, you can easily delete the header if you want to, and Control Z works to bring things back whenever maybe you delete something that you don't want to. Now, you can see this image over here. It's telling you that you can upload an image or select or search for an image online to put in this banner. So let's select. So there's a gallery here that you can choose from. You can paste your URL of an image. You can search online. Let's say data analytics. You can search online for images, and when you use it, it updates, right, as the header. So you can play around with that. And if you have the image available, you can just upload from your laptop or from your device. Now you will see this other side of the page, the right side. So this is where a lot of things happen. You can insert text, images, you can embed links, and we'll get to that. You can import things from your Google Drive. This is Google site, so it has access to Google applications. Then these are content blocks. So sometimes you might want an image with content, and sometimes image, then content underneath. So different types of structure is available for you. There are collapsible group. So collapsible group in the sense that if you have, some websites have, let's say, FAQs, right? So if you, what is this site used for? So if you have something like this, you can, bring it up, bring it out. So when you are designing your page, you can preview what you've done without publishing. So what we've done so far is this. You can see the collapsible page. It's useful for those kind of, use. Then you have table of contents, you have image carousel. I use that in mine too. You have buttons, I use that. There are dividers, spacers, social links, placeholders, YouTube, calendar, map, documents, slides, sheets, forms, charts. So you can put a wide range of things into your website. Now let's continue with my duplication. You can name your site something, let's say Oluwaseun. So that would be the name that displays at the tab area for your site. So what do we want to do next? So we have these pages right at the top. Now, how do you do that? You come over here and you can add multiple pages or sections. Let me pull about. You can add, let's say, contact, and you can make them a subset of each other. So I'm dragging this. If I put it under this, it will come under about. So if I click on about, you see contact under it, right? So those are things you can do to pull more beauty and intricacies into your website. So let me bring that out. Okay, I think I have to delete it or make, no, I don't want it to be the home page. No, let me turn this to home page. So this come under here. Yeah, so it is now on its own. So you can see that these pages, they inherit the header for the home page, but you can also change them if you want, right? Now, going back to the home, there are different themes you can use. There is a simple theme, there is this Aristotle, you can choose different color schemes, diplomat, vision, level, impression. So there are not a whole lot of themes you can select from, but you can also customize yours. Just design them, use it as a custom theme. But we'll be going with the simple for today. So you can play around with colors and all of that. Now, let's insert this. I'll be uploading my image. Let's see. Let me just choose something nice. So you can adjust images you upload. It can be images of what you do, your place of work, what you sell, whatever you want, you need your website for. Then you can input texts. So this is my website. Let me just copy, paste. Okay, this is header, but if you don't want to use header, you can just delete this part of it. So delete here, so I can just leave the text. Now, this is basically everything you need. Now you can see that in my page, I have these logos underneath. So they are just images I added to the page, right? So if you click on images, let's say, I don't want to, okay, I want to search online for images. So it has access to your photos, your Google Drive, anything you need. Let me see, UNCG logo. So if I use this, I can bring it in, move it around. So you see, it's easy to manipulate wherever you want it to be. And with that, you are good to go. You can preview how far you've gone. So this is what we have currently. You can check the view on a tablet and also on a mobile phone, what it would look like, right? So those are things you can utilize. I think I had something here. So these are buttons, right? So this contacts me, Google Scholar. This takes me out of my page and takes me to my Google Scholar, while this one takes me to another page, but still in the website. So you can do things like that. You can link it up to external pages or internal pages. I'll show you how to do that. So you go to buttons, just click on it. I want it to be contact. So link, so it will just give you the pages you have in your website. Then you can insert drag it around, Then you can also edit how it looks like. So this is filled, but if I just want it outlined, it doesn't give it any color. If I want just text, it doesn't, give it anything. But if you go to the preview, you can easily click on it, right? It is still a button. It's just that it is viewed differently. So those are manipulations you could do. So now let's add another button for my Google Scholar. Now I need the link of where I want it to go, and I'll put it here. So same thing, can have this here. Let's use the same kind of filling as a text. So this you can align whether you want it left, right, center, and all of that. Okay. So with that, if you preview Google Scholar, it takes you to my Google Scholar. So that is that about my front page. I don't think there's anything here. Okay. So that is my front page, right? Now, this footer, let's try to get that done. Add footer. You can see this little button over it says add footer. Now you can type whatever you want, or you can add links. So if it's links you want to add, you'll see social links over here. Now you can put your YouTube link, YouTube, you can put your Instagram and all of that. So it's because they are not real links that they are showing this way. Once I put my actual links, it will recognize that yes, it is LinkedIn, it is Instagram, it is YouTube, it is GitHub. Then these are just text that I wrote underneath. So I just added text, and I said updated by November 2025. So I'm trying to be fast, so it might not be as beautiful as you want it to be. So I'm center aligning it. Let's increase the font size to maybe 14. Then you can also change the pictures. So section color, you can choose a color or an image, right? So depending on what you want to achieve. So what I did is I used a color, but the color was not in the, no, not this one. So this is for this particular section. I don't need this. So what I need is a color, but that color is not there. So I just search for Google Images. So I search for color black. So if it does not have what you want, you can just search on Google, choose a black color, and it uses it there. Same thing here. Select Google Images, black. So whatever you feel like using, you can use it there. So you can see that is how I achieved this black color, but you can make it whatever you want. Well, I wanted a black theme, right? And that was what I was pushing for. So that's that about the home page. The about page is similar. I use similar page structure, so I won't go into that. So now you can see my page, similar to what I have. The about page, you can see that it's inheriting the header and the footer that you have, right? So those things are inherited. But you can change this. Let's say you want title only for the about section. It will not affect your own page, right? But you can change what you want here. But this footer would be the same. for all your pages. So for the about section, like I said, I did the same thing. I just added an image and text. Now for education, that's where I used a different type of structure. So let me add an additional page, new page, education. So for this education, I inserted this kind of structure. Then for this, I used the image carousel. Now for the image carousel, you need to select like, I think 3 images, or at least 3 images or something. So let's just choose maybe an insert. So I don't want this guy here, so I can delete it. I can bring this one in here. So now what I have is, let's say UNCG master's degree. Now, if you preview this, it will be changing the images, right? As, okay, I didn't put it in automatic, but you can scroll through. Now, how do you make it automatic? You go back to the carousel, you go to settings. Now, you check auto start and choose your transition speed, whether you want very slow, medium, or fast. So if I want it fast and update that and go to preview, it will change on its own. I don't have to click on it. And that is what is happening over here. So I just put images of the schools and whatnot, and that is what is, changing. So that's how to get that done. Now you can see they are just the same thing. I overlaid it on each other, and that is all that is in education. Now for projects, what I did here is a little bit different, because now for this one now, this is a YouTube link. Let me just copy the link and use it. Now let's go back and create a project page. Project. Now we'll insert a content block. So let's use something different. Let's say we use this. Now for this one, I want to include a YouTube link. So I'll put that link I copied. So it finds it, then I insert it. So it brings that link over here. Now I can put interactive dashboard or whatever I want to include, right? Then that is how I achieved this. So I'm using a different structure, right? So that we don't use the same thing. Then I also added a link. So how I did this was, number one, the text, I just wrote different text. Then I added social links. So the social link was my GitHub link that has the slides and whatnot. So I can just append that under it. So I know that this link takes me to the resources I need for this project. So you see my different projects have different links. For this dashboard, it takes you to the ABP website, while these ones take you to the GitHub. So this is where we taught coding in the age of AI. These are different projects I did. And these links take you to the actual GitHub link. So that's how you achieve that project kind of feel. Then for the app, okay, we talked about already. I think what's left is research. So research too has that similar feel, text and a picture. So I was going for something simple, nothing too attractive, because this is like a professional page for my studies and things I've been working on. But if you're an entrepreneur, you bake, you sell stuff, you're a fashion designer, you can maybe want to use a different structure. Let's say you have this kind of structure and you put your let's search online, let's say fashion designer. So you can put maybe things you've worked on, your catalog. So you can just upload those images. Okay. So things you've worked on, then you can write a little text about it, or you can impute, let's say, a button that takes them to um, where they can order for that um, product. So let's say you have a link to, I don't, maybe let's say Flutter Waves, and maybe they are the one handling um, your expenses, your orders. So once you do something like this, anyone that comes to your page and previews your page would see what they want to select, and they can click on this order now, and it will take them to that page, right? So those are easy ways you can design your website. All right. What else haven't I touched on? So there are spacers. Now, if you feel you want to segment your page in a way that, okay, you don't want it too cluttered, you can put spacers. So I clicked on spacers. You can also use dividers. So dividers is just also another kind of way to divide your page. So spacers, you can increase the space, then you can add more things over here. So if you view it, you would see that, let's use desktop view. See that there's a little space here. So everything is not like jumbled together. So you can use that to declutter what you're trying to achieve. So you can use spacers for that. I've told you how to use social links. Placeholders are just, maybe you are trying to design, but you've not figured out what you want to put. So you can put a placeholder, then include whatever you want to include in that placeholder. And you can put calendar maps, documents. So those documents have to be in your Google Drive. So once they're in your Google Drive, you can access it. Let's say you want to add your resume to your website, you can add it through this, or if you have some slides or sheets or Google Forms you want to add to your website, you can use that approach. So these are things you can add. We've talked about embedding. So Drive, you can bring things that are, on your Google Drive into your website. Okay. I've touched base on all of this. So you can pull links in text, and this is what I did here. So for these awards, I added links to them that are different from the way I added it to projects here, like the GitHub, whatever. So I embedded it on the text, and this is how to do it. Let's say you wrote some text, let's say this master's degree. So highlight the text that you want to embed, and you put the link. So let's say uncg.com or .edu. So if you do that, and I preview this, I can click on this text and it takes me to the UNCG page. So those are ways you can, be creative about your design. And that is what I did here. I just added a couple of links. Now for contacts, same thing, pictures, then a couple of buttons. Now, because of time, I would stop there for the page designing. But there are other things you can do. There is a settings here that you can modify the way your page is being accessed. So now for these tabs, you can either put it at the top or on the side. So you put on the side, people will have to come this way for them to access your pages, right? Then you can either make the color transparent, white or black. So those are the choices you have. You can include brand images. Now, if you upload, let's say, logos, let me look for, let me just use a picture of mine. So if I use that as my logo, it would show here, right? And when I publish this site, that logo, okay, that that will be the favicon. And the favicon, you have to also include it here because this is the logo of the site, but this is what will show up when people come to your site. So you can see my favicon over here. It is still my logo. So you can just put that same picture there. Then it automatically sees the colors that are available in your logo, and you can use those colors as the theme for your site. So if I choose this brown color, uh, the theme of my site changes to sort of brownish in certain places. Um, the custom domain. So this is where some people stop. Some people just design their websites. I know a lot of people that have the designs ready. They've done their websites, but they are just, or they don't just know how to create domains. So domains are things like hopeadegoke.com, right? Um, who is here? Preciousolayinka.com. That is a domain. And how do we get this domain? You have to pay for it. Now, if you don't want to pay, you can just publish, but it would have Google sites, blah blah blah, Oluwaseun. So that's the link you have to share to people, and that might not be too professional. But if it doesn't matter to you, you can leave your site like that, right? But if it does matter to you to get a domain, then you have to connect this custom domain. Now, I use um, I use Cloudflare. So let me put you up to speed on how you can go about getting your domain. Oluwaseun.com. This domain, blah 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 blah. So these are the things you are going to face. But first, you need to buy the domain before you connect it. So this place is telling me to verify that I am the owner of this domain. So I am not the owner, but let's see. Continue. So it's telling me to go through these steps. Now we'll see where these steps would come in. If you want to buy a domain, you come to Cloudflare. Let's see, Cloudflare. So their website is www.cloudflare.com. There are other places you can get a domain like Hostinga, right? There are a lot of places, but I chose Cloudflare. You can choose anything you want. Now, when you log in, you have a page like this. If I want to get a domain, this is my current domain. It shows me some analytics, unique visitors, blah, blah, blah. If I want to buy a domain, I come to buy a domain. Now, let me go and search for thatoluwaseun.com to see if I can buy it. Okay, it's telling me that oluwaseun.com is not available, meaning someone else already registered that name. But it will also suggest other extensions that I can use, like .app, and also the prices. Right. So if you are comfortable with something else, like so this one it changes to Ogewashun. I'm like, what's this? But if you're comfortable with the options it gives you, let's look for who is online. Let's look for Green Cupid. greencupid.com. So greencupid.com is not available, but there's greencupid.org, which is not bad, right? So if let's say I want to choose this one, I go to confirm. But note that this one is telling you that the first year you pay $7.5, then it renews at $10 per year, which is actually not bad. So you go through the payments, blah, blah, blah. You put your credit card and you pay for it. Once you pay for it, you have something like this. Now, to connect what Google Site was telling us then, I click on this. Then you go to DNS. So let me go back so that you can also keep track of what's happening. Okay. So it says verified domain ownership via DNS records. So it says select record type TXT recommended. So let's go back to this place, DNS records. So you click on add record, select record type. They said TXT, blah, blah, blah. Then they said sign in to your domain name provider, copy the TXT record below into your DNS configuration. So you need to copy this, then put it in your DNS records. I think I need to put it here. And press verify below. So once I do those and I save the record, I will now verify over there. So it will now link it up. But when you are linking your domains, I think it takes 24 to 48 hours for it to link up and show up. So you have to wait for like 48 hours. But that is how to create a domain, verify it. So let me just go back because that's not what we are trying to do. So basically, that is how to set up your domain. You have to create it first in the other site, then come here and verify that you are the owner of that site. Once you verify it, it links it up and you'll be good to go. Then there's also analytics, which you can enable if you want or not. There's also announcement banner. Let's say you are doing sales and you want people to know that, okay, this is happening. You can put a banner, put a color. Let's say we are having Thanksgiving sales. So think with that, and if I close this, I should have a banner so you can see. So it shows up, on your page like that, and it will be on all your pages. Let's check the home page and see. And it took our theme color. We changed the theme color to brown. So it changed the header's theme color. But basically, that's how to design your website in a user-friendly, no coding, no stress way. I mean, if you do this intentionally, maybe because it's the first time, in 3-4 hours, you should be done with the skeleton. The rest would be, okay, I don't like the way this picture is. I want to move this from left to right. Right? I want to move this from right to top. And once you play around with it, you would have a better feel of what you want to achieve. So those are different things you can play around with. Um, think that's the end of this session. We still have like 10 minutes left. So I'll be entertaining questions if any of us have questions. If there is something you feel a website should have that, okay, you don't know if Google sites have that kind of functionality, you can drop the question down there. But I feel this is a very good thing. As a business owner, I feel you should have your own website. That is what I think. As someone that needs customers, as someone that wants to make their page look professional, you should have something like this. If you are unable to do it on your own, I am available to do it for a fee. So if you are willing to pay me, of course, I'll do it for you and you know enjoy your money. But I think anyone should be able to get this done. It's like a game. It's add and drop. Just click and paste. The only technical thing that you actually need to do is the domain, and that is not even too technical. Just copy paste, and everything will be active. So, do we have questions from anyone? I'm looking at the comment section. Questions, questions, questions. Or do we feel we have what it takes to build a website now? Do we feel we are capable? If you are going to build your website, give me an indication. Okay, I have a question. What is the difference between Google websites and coding websites? So, um, there are different ways of creating a website. I mean, there are AI tools now that create websites, right? So there are websites you can create websites from Python. You can create websites using WordPress. I think WordPress too has little to no coding, but it is more it has more intricacies, right? That is that to WordPress. What I would say the difference is flexibility. Now, in these Google sites, there's a limit to the changes you can make. There's a limit to things you can do. Um, let's say these white spaces, I want my content to fill out those spaces that I don't want those white spaces. For Google, for Google sites, it is impossible to do that. So it has like a specific width that you can work with, right? But if you are building it from scratch, let's say from Python or whatnot, you still have flexibility of moving things around the way you want it. But I feel some things are not actually that important, right? If you are just trying to put your name out there now, like this, you can easily search for me online, and you would get to see um, my page, and that is what I'm rooting for. I don't really I don't really care about these white spaces, right? It doesn't bother me. But if you are someone that okay, you want to put some things here, you want ads to be there, you want to promote some other things for them to pay you, then you might want to go for other kind of websites or look for a professional website developer, right? So they still have their benefits. But if you just want something simple, something just to put your work out there, something people can just easily click on links and get what they want, something where people can easily order for your product, then maybe just do a Google site, right? Something not complex. Uh, yeah, so that's just the difference. Any other question? I think that's a very good question. So, which one of us will be doing their site in the next, let me give you grace of 1 week? If you will be doing your site, I would personally um, review it. If just raise your hand up within the next 1 week, you can reach out to me, send me what you have, send me a link. So now, once you, okay, I can see Ifeoluwa Grace, nice one. Once you are done, this is you click on publish, right? So this web address is just the name. So if I say I want it to be Oluwaseun, so this is the link. So this is a great address, but it's already taken. So you have to walk around. Let's say David. So this is not taken. Now this is the link that will show up for people. If I publish this, this is what I have to share to people. Okay, this is my new website, blah blah blah. But when you use a domain, you can put your own name. So there's also Google Workspace where you can use for your own professional domain, and you definitely pay. Okay, Jack will be doing his website too. Awesome, awesome. So please, I want to see your website. Share it with me. I would love to give you feedback, designs, color, inspos. So you can look online. So a good thing to do is look online for people's websites and copy their structure. If you have a website, man, okay, I like this person's website. Let me try to achieve what this person achieved instead of building everything from scratch from your head. So look for someone's website, just try to copy the structure, maybe the color combos, and that would be easy for you to work with. All right, I only have two hands, so those are the two people I'll be accommodating. If you reach out to me, I would review your website. Um, any other comments, feedback, questions? I really appreciate everyone coming here, taking their time to join us today. Thank you very much. I see you, Dr. Gabriel, and you have a lovely website. So those are the first cohorts of website builders. I see you. Okay, Onyechuku, I'll give it a try. Awesome, awesome. So I think everyone should have a website. I think everyone should have a website. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good rest of your day. Happy Thanksgiving, and bye bye. Yes, Dr. Nye, I will review yours, of course. Thank you very much. Please ensure you subscribe to Dr. AI. You like all our videos. We have a lot of videos that you guys need to catch up on, a whole lot of videos. So please watch them, like them, subscribe. Thank you very much. All right, I think it's 1 o'clock now. All right, guys.